Welcome back to the last session of today. And in the previous session, Gideon Sargila talked about some common errors in English usage that we find. So my session would be also on some common errors. I would be discussing some common errors. So my focus would be more on adjectives, adverbs, and prepositions, right? And I may take up a few other common errors, right? So prior to begin with my session, as I was sitting there watching Gideon Sargila's session, so I think few questions came up other than some unnecessary chat. So I'm going to take two of the questions that is related to my session. Right. So there's someone who asked, because I feel like when I was taking the session on pronunciation, that question might have come, right? In a way, you might have started thinking about that when I told you when a letter ends in B just after M, right? When a word ends with the letter B just after M, B is silent. So there's someone who asked, what about comb? C-O-M-B. This was a question I found in the comment section. So here also B is silent. Okay, comb, not comb. Okay, B is silent. Right. In the same way, C-L-I-M-B. Again, B is silent. Climb, climb up the tree. Not climb. Climb up the tree. Climb. Again, B is silent here. So in the same way, we have other words, numb. I went numb. I was so nervous, or you can say I went numb. Again, B is silent. So I hope you got it clear now. So there's a viewer who asked this question, what about comb? Okay, so this is the answer I have for you. Comb, climb, numb, so all have B silent, right? Then there was another viewer who asked about the difference between using would and could. So maybe you started thinking about this question when I was taking the session on conversation, how to make your conversation more polite. So would and could both are more polite than can, right? Can you do this? So could you? Would you? Right? So the only difference is would is more polite compared to could. Could in a way deals with possibility and ability. So whether you are able to do that, is it possible for you to do that? Whereas would deals with your willingness, the willingness of the other person to do it, because would comes from the word will, would, can, could, shall, should, may, might, right? So would be more polite compared to could, right? But both would and could in a way are preferred to can, right, which is impolite. I hope I have answered your question. Would and could both can be used when you are having you want to have a polite conversation. Like if you have to choose between can and could would be more polite, but could and would, I would suggest that would be more polite than could. So I hope I have answered your question. Okay, so let's look at the slides. So what I'm going to deal with today is some common errors in English usage. Okay. Not working. Okay, prepositions. Okay, so all of you know, right, what actually prepositions are. So a preposition relates a noun or pronoun to another word in a sentence, right? It is not used at the end of a sentence. So what you need to remember is we don't use preposition at the end of a sentence. Okay. For example, if you look at this sentence, the bag is where I put my things in. right? The bag is where I put my things in. So you find in is the preposition here, right? But it's not necessary, because even if we remove the preposition in, the meaning would remain same. There would be no change in the meaning, right? The bag is where I put my things, right? Now, let's look at some common errors we make, okay, when it comes to using prepositions. So, the sun rises dash the east, okay, at, in, from. What do you think would be the correct preposition here? The sun rises from the east, the sun rises at the east, the sun rises in the east. Sometimes you may find students writing from, thinking that, oh, it's from the east, right? Whereas the correct answer is, oops, sorry, is in, okay? So, I am trying to look at the slide. Okay, you can look at the slide. So, the correct answer would be in. It's wrong. Sorry. Okay, at, in, from. So, the correct answer would be the sun rises in the east, or not at, not in, okay, not from, sorry, not at, not from, but in, okay, the sun rises in the east, okay. I went to the market dash foot, on foot, by foot. What do you think is the correct preposition to use? I went to the market, yes. Many of you, or you can say students, I would rather say, get confused. They might think that by foot, but the correct answer is on foot. I went to the market on foot. Sheldon is a student dash Payton school. Sheldon is a student dash Payton school. What do you think the correct preposition should be? Of, at, in. Which preposition do you prefer using? Sheldon is a student of Payton school. Sheldon is a student at Payton school. Sheldon is a student in Payton school. Yes, what did I hear? Some of you might be saying of, at, in. Okay, the correct answer is Sheldon is a student at Payton school. I don't, my highlighter is not working here. Otherwise, I should be doing this, right? Showing you the correct answer. So, Sheldon is a student at Payton school. It has been raining dash Saturday, from, since. Yes, which is the correct preposition to go with? It has been raining. Yes, did I hear since? Right. So, it has been raining since Saturday, not from. Okay. What's the time dash your watch? This is a little tricky. Okay. What's the time on your watch? What's the time by your watch? What's the time in your watch? Okay. So, this is a sentence I still remember. This is a you can say an example that I learned as a student. My teacher in our class asked the same question, and we came up with different answers on, in, okay, so many different answers, and that was something very strange, a strange experience we had, and that's why I still remember this even after so many years. Okay, what's the time by your watch is the correct answer, not on, not in, right? Time is an abstract thing. You cannot record it in your watch. You cannot put it inside your watch. Okay, it's like what's the time that your watch is displaying in a way, right? So what's the time by your watch, not on, not in, okay, by your watch. I hope this is clear. Next, so some other common errors with prepositions. I prefer coffee than tea. So here the preposition than is used, and this is a common error we make or people make. Okay, I prefer coffee. The correct pronunciation is to, not than, right? I prefer coffee to tea. I prefer reading to something else. Okay, I prefer gardening to, okay, so whatever is the other preference. Okay, I prefer coffee to tea. She is busy in her work. So this is something you may find, okay, people using. This is a common error, right? She is busy in her work. So the preposition in is incorrectly used here because the correct preposition would be with. She is busy with her work. Sam is getting married with Susie. Sam is getting married with. It's the incorrect preposition. It should be to. Sam is getting married to Susie. Right. I have been working here since 8 years. So this looks correct in a way, right? You feel like, since 8 years I have been working here, but it's not the correct preposition. It may look like, okay, it should be for. I have been working here for 8 years. A frog jumped in the pond. Okay, so there's often confusion between these two prepositions, in and into. Okay, the correct preposition here would be a frog jumped into the pond, right? In shows location in a way. So you can say a frog lived in the pond, you can say. Jump is showing action, right? So I went into the room, right? So into kind of shows movement, whereas in shows location. A frog jumped into the pond, not in the pond. I want to go to home. You often hear students saying, I'm feeling so homesick. I'm missing my parents. Okay, I'm feeling homesick. If you are staying in a hostel, right, you often say, I'm feeling homesick. I want to go to home. So this is an example of a sentence where a preposition is used unnecessarily. Okay. Should be I want to go home, not I want to go to home. Okay, the second to, right, after go shouldn't be there. I want to go home, not I want to go to home. Okay. I'll see you in next week. Again, okay, unnecessary use of preposition. I'll see you next week. They asked to me about the plan. Okay, they asked me about the plan. Asked to me. Again, unnecessary use. They asked me about the plan. Okay, your teacher might have told you about talked about this thing, right? When you learned about direct and indirect speech, reported speech. He told to. We don't use told to, right? Told me. Okay. So they asked me about the plan. Again, this is something we have been thinking about, okay, as a correct sentence. See, in class, see, please open page 23 of your textbook, which is incorrect. The correct way of using this is, please open your textbook to page 23. Read it again, right? Please open page 23 of your textbook is incorrect. Please open your textbook to page 23. Okay. So these are some of the common errors with prepositions. There are still more, right? So right now I'm going to discuss only this much, and then I'll be talking about adjectives. Okay. So these are some common errors we find with the use of prepositions, right, where prepositions are incorrectly used or unnecessarily used. Now let's look at some adjectives and adverbs. Okay, look at the slide. So you all know, right, adjectives are words that describe a noun or a pronoun, right? They add details, to your writing or whatever you are writing, right? Sentence or paragraph, often come before, adjectives often come before the nouns that they describe. And sometimes they can come after linking verbs as well, and they can also come after nouns or pronouns they describe. Okay? So common errors with adjectives, like she is more taller than me, right? So it's like when you learn about comparatives, right? Taller, tallest, right? Tall, taller, tallest. So she is more taller than me. The correct way should be she is taller than me. So you need not use the word more here, okay? She is taller than me. Or you can say she is much taller than me. Okay. She is the most tallest girl in the class. Wrong use, right? She is the tallest girl in the class. I can't tell you how much sincere she is. Okay. So you try to think about the degree of her sincerity. You say how much sincere she is. Okay. There's actually no need of using this. I can't tell you how sincere she is. Okay. Then what are the points to remember? See, never use more before the ER form of an adjective, like taller, okay, stronger. So you need not use the word more, okay, when the adjective has the ER form. Okay. Never use most before the EST form of an adjective. Okay. Tallest, strongest, okay, youngest. You need not, because this already suggests that this is most, right? You need not use the word more or most. So for making comparisons, we often use more and most with adjectives of 2 or more syllables, okay, like beautiful, beautiful, right? Beautiful, you have 3 syllables, right? We don't write beautifuler or beautifulest. More beautiful, most beautiful, right? But then sometimes, see, it's not necessary that it always come with 1 syllable word. Sometimes like easy, 2 syllable word, right? Easy, easier, easiest. Okay. So often used with adjectives of 2 or more syllables. So adverbs. So you know what adverbs are, right? The words that describe a verb by telling how, when, or where. So adverbs can also describe adjectives or other adverbs, right? So you need to remember adjectives describe noun or pronoun, whereas adverbs describe verb, adjectives and other adverbs. Okay. So they describe adjectives and other adverbs to make them more accurate, more correct, or more exact or more precise. And they also add details. So examples of adverbs: slowly, happily, quietly, fast, well, etc. So these all, so there are still more, right? These adverbs tell you how. He is walking slowly means showing how he is walking, right? Now, always, never, usually, often, lately, etc. they show when. Okay, I am doing this work now means when you are doing it now. I always do this work, always, right? When. So these all adverbs show when. And here, there, outside, inside, everywhere, etc. So they all show where. I can see the books everywhere. So where. So adverbs show how, when, where. So there are still more adverbs. So you can just find out. So I'll now discuss some common errors with adverb. A cheetah runs more faster than a deer. See, don't get confused with adjectives. Earlier, like more taller, okay, kind of similar, right? But here, see, a cheetah runs more faster. See, run is the verb, runs faster, okay? So here, faster is used not as an adjective, but adverb, okay? A cheetah is the most fastest of all animals. So here I have highlighted more and most in red because these are not required. Okay? A cheetah runs faster than a deer. A cheetah is the fastest of all animals. So more and most are not required here. Okay. So points to remember: never use more before the form of an adverb. So similar to adjective, right? Never use more before the er form of adjective. In the same way, never use more before the er form of an adverb, okay, when it's you can say comparative. Never use most before the est form of an adverb. For making comparisons, more and most are often used with adverbs that end in ly, like slowly, quickly, quietly, right, nicely. So, this ly form of adverbs and adverbs that have 2 or more syllables. Okay. So, these are some points to remember. Again, never use enough before adjectives, adverbs and verbs. Okay. We don't need to use the word enough before adjectives, adverbs and verbs. For example, here, your room is enough spacious to accommodate your family. Okay. See, spacious is the adjective here, isn't it? Your room is enough spacious is the wrong way. It should be spacious enough. Okay. Your room is spacious enough to accommodate your family. The word enough goes before noun. Okay. For example, I have enough money to buy this book. Money is the noun here. So, you see enough goes before the noun money, right. But when spacious, see again adjective, adverb and verb. So, enough the word enough does not go before adjectives, adverbs and verbs, but they go before noun. I have enough money to buy this book. If you can read the sentence again, I think this will be clear, right? Your room is spacious enough. Enough is used after the adjective, right? Spacious enough to accommodate your family. And in the second case, I have enough money to buy this book. So, before noun. So, confusion with adjective and adverb, right? Let's look at some example. Hard versus hard. So, we often see there is a confusion with this word hard, because it is both adverb as well as adjective. The only difference is the way the word hard is used. Okay, you have to be very careful. See, the first example, my parents work hard for our living. Okay, another example, see, my parents do a lot of hard work for our living. See, in both the sentences, we have the word hard, isn't it? But the difference is, in the first sentence, hard is used as an adverb. My parents work hard. See, the verb is work, right? So, here the adverb hard modifies the verb. My parents work how? Okay, hard. The verb, my parents work hard for our living. So, in the first case, hard is an adverb, whereas in the second example, my parents do a lot of hard work. Work is the noun. So, here hard comes before the noun. So, this is an adjective. My parents do a lot of hard work for our living. Again, hard versus hardly, right. So, sometimes you find you can say people getting confused between the use of these two words, hard and hardly, they are different. Okay. My parents hardly work for our living. If I say, okay, my parents work hard for our living, my parents hardly work for our living, the meaning changes. Okay. So, it is almost none or nothing. You mean, see, hardly is not you can say the one you wanted to say. It's you may think of using this as an adverb in a positive way, but the meaning is different. My parents hardly means they do not. Okay, they mean it's nothing. Okay, they are not working. Okay, so we need to be very careful regarding the use of the words hard and hardly. Okay, so we have more. Late versus lately again. Okay. So, this confusion with adjective and adverb, okay, late versus lately. See, I was late to school as I missed my bus. I was late to school, okay. So, here late is used as an adjective, okay. I was late to school, so you are late, right. I reached school late. So, here late is used as an adverb, okay. So, sometimes the same word can be used as a adjective or adverb. So, you need to be very careful. I reached school late as I missed my bus. Okay. Tenzin has started doing yoga lately. Okay, lately is again an adverb, but here it has nothing to do with the word late. Okay, it means recently. Tenzin has started doing yoga lately, which means recently. Okay, so you see the meaning is different. So L-A-T-E-L-Y, lately is not the adverb form of late. Okay, please remember this. In the same way, lovely. So you may get confused. Lovely is not the adverb form of love. Okay, it's lovely. Lovely is adjective. Okay, so not all the word that ends in ly are adverb. You please keep that in mind. Okay. Every day versus everyday. Again, there's confusion, right? Every day, because the spelling is same, the only difference is the first one we have a space in between every and day. Every day. The pronunciation in a way, the way you speak this word is little difference. Every day and every day. Every day is one word, every day is two word, right? It's a kind of phrase. So the difference is, see, I do, just look, if you read the sentence, it would be clear. I do my prayers every day. That is each day. I mean to say that each day I do my prayers. I do my prayers every day. And see the second example, praying is a part of my everyday routine. Praying is a part of my everyday routine. Now see, in the second sentence, routine is the noun, so everyday is used as an adjective. Okay? Whereas in the first sentence, everyday is adverb. Okay? I do, it shows when, right? Each day. I do my prayers when? Every day. Each day I do my prayers. So I do my prayers every day. Praying is a part of my everyday routine. So this shows a typical or something ordinary or something that is usual, right? So again we have common errors with negative words. Okay? People won't never stop talking about coronavirus. See, if I say people won't never stop talking about coronavirus, so this is wrong because you are using double negatives. Won't, okay, never. See, never negative, won't is not, right, would not. So won't never stop talking about coronavirus. This is double negative. So rather you should be saying people won't stop talking about coronavirus. So you need not use the word never. Right, or you can say people never, right? Double negatives are not to be used. In the same way, this is a common error I have been seeing in my school, right? The many students, right? The schools I have worked, okay? So I think this is quite common. I have had discussion with other teachers as well, and they are also of the same view, okay? Like there are no any books in the store, there is no any, okay, students often use this, okay, this is ungrammatical. There are no any books in the store, this is wrong, okay. Either you should be saying there aren't any, are not any. No any is wrong, you should be saying not any, okay, that would be more correct. Otherwise, if you say no any, it would be ungrammatical, okay. There aren't any books in the store, so that would be more precise, okay. There aren't any books in the store, or you can say there are no books in the store. So when you have already used no, there's no need to use the word any. Okay, there are no books in the store, or there aren't any books in the store. So please be careful about using this two, right? No any together. So it's totally ungrammatical, right? There are no any books in the store. Rather, you should be saying or writing, there aren't any books in the store, or there are no books in the store. Okay. So after this, I just want to give one example. Okay. So there are, I think, the common errors. I think you need to still find more, right? There are still many, you can say, common errors that you find. So I have kind of discussed some of the common errors we find with the usage of prepositions, adjectives, and adverb, right? So there's one common error I just wanted to discuss with you, because this is something that is related to you can say the second language learners, because in English not being our native language, right? So what happens is sometimes in order to translate what we say in Tibetan directly into English, so students tend to make mistakes. Like in Tibetan, so I need to use some Tibetan words here in the English class. okay, which I usually don't do that. So if I say red pen, okay, red pen. In English we say red pen, right? The adjective red comes before the noun pen. But in Tibetan, how do we say? Do we say marbo nyugu? No, nyugu marbo, right? The noun comes before the adjective, nyugu marbo. So we have to be very careful in using this. So in the same way, the common error that I have been finding, okay, for so many years is the use of there, have. So I think teachers might agree with me, students, when they have to write a composition about something, because see, they do it unknowingly, right? Because they try to translate, like if you have to write about, okay, say suppose this room, okay, like in Tibetan we say I have, say suppose if I want to say I have 3 books, okay, I have 3 books. So in Tibetan, how do we write? Okay. Okay. Ngala tepsum ye, right? So in English, how do we write? I have 3 books, right? Now here it's fine, right? Ngala tepsum ye, I have 3 books, it's fine. Now when it comes to talking about, okay, say suppose this room, this studio, okay? If I want to say, okay, or if I want to talk about my school, okay, there if you see, I'm finding it hard, okay, yeah, in Tibetan if you want to say that, ngansu lobter lobtuk mangboye, okay, if you want to say ngansu lobter lobtuk mangboye, okay, so see, okay, so okay, so what happens is sometimes students, in order to translate that into English, instead of writing there are many students in my school, what they do is there have many students in my school. Okay, so here it should be there are. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight this error, okay, between there have and there are. So have in a way is, okay, in Tibetan. So younger students often get confused with the use of have and are. So they say there have this number of, you can say, teachers or students in the in my school. So this is something I just wanted to highlight so that you remember, okay. So sometimes you need to be very careful when you are trying to translate, okay, something that you thought in Tibetan into English, right. So I hope you will keep that in mind. And since this is the last session for today, so I won't, you can say, take a lot of time. It's already, I think, half an hour, okay, 33 minutes. So you must be very tired, so I'll better stop it here and see you again tomorrow. Thank you.